Hi, my name is Michael Nunneley, and I want to welcome you to another episode of Gospel of Comics. I want to thank you for coming in and checking us out, and I hope that you find this stuff helpful. These are kind of geared towards. I want to advance indie comics in general, but I want to make them all better by making all of us better, by improving relations, by really trying to raise the water for everyone. That is my general purpose here. And I want to talk about some ways that I have personally used to further this goal. One of the things we talk a lot on here about cross-promotional ideas. I want to talk about one thing that you can do. Establish relationships with other creators, with other indie creators. It is so important. And while it might not seem like it, it is, because you get the word of other creators vouching for other creators, that, do you see how I mean? That starts a snowball effect. Well, this person liked it, then this person liked it, then this person liked it, and we can do this for each other to help each other out. One of the things I did specifically was I got a hold of. I happen to have built some relationships with some Alterna guys, Troy Vivasas and Terry Mayo specifically, but not just them. Even with Mike DeCosta, the guy who's currently writing our Dragon Boy and Albino Warrior title. I got all of them to read my story and to give me a critique on it, and I put those critiques on the back of my comic. Now, sorry, this is just a little version. It's the printer copy. I just the real comics, of course, are bigger, but I just wanted you to see what I mean. I displayed on the back of them, on the back of the comic, I have the comments made by these friends I've made in this industry, and hopefully you can do the same kind of thing. You get other creators to read their book, and then they can offer a critique. And I think that actually has more value than if you were to send it to a reviewer. Now, certain reviewers have to build some kind of cred before their reviews are taken very seriously. But in that same kind of manner, when you get other creators, people who already have stuff out there, if you get them talking about your books, I have found that to do more to further selling my books than doing it with reviews. In fact, I can't get hardly anyone to review my comics. But however, I have gotten friends in the industry to help me out with promoting it and with reviewing it themselves. And this is, again, one of those things that is really important with establishing relationships with other creators. This is more than just a social exercise. It will help you. It will help them. But one of the things I wanted to talk about also is, once you've established these relationships with these other creators, they can help you to further your goals, just like you can help them to further theirs. They can, like, for instance, I have a title, Dragon Boy and Albino Warrior, talked about that a minute ago, that I hired Mike DeCosta from Eliteware to do. Now, I did that because he happens to have a knack for writing both graphic violence and to have a family element that I'm not particularly good at writing. I'm more of a graphic violence horror kind of a writer. But having that relationship with him, because I had already agreed to read his comics and he agreed to read my comics, we're putting our reviews on each other's comics. That's cross-promotional right there. And it feeds the engine, you know what I mean? When I recommend Mike DeCosta's book, when I recommend Eliteware to others, they're saying, well, Mike Nunneley's a good writer. If he says it's good, it's got to be good. Especially if they know me like from comics or from Chico Comics page or whatever. But the same thing works with you. You know, when if you have a friend or you know others that are in this indie comics industry and they're making comics too, you guys can do this with each other. And that actually works into not just cross-promotional ideas, but eventually even working together to help each other further your goal. Every time you work on a project, you get your name out there. Every time you get your name out there, you're got a better chance at selling comics. And on a closing note here, I guess I just want to say that while there are a lot of jerks in this business, I have met many of them. There are some good ones out there, and you just gotta you in the words of Cartman, you gotta weed through all the dicks before you get to the good stuff. But you know, there are some, especially big time indie pros. You know, like Terry Mayo's work on The Wicked Righteous. Right, I was really impressed with that, and his help, his suggestions, as well as Scott Tipson's suggestions for me, really taught me a lot about what I know about making comics. And again, that wouldn't have happened had I not made relationships with other creators. So if you take anything away from this, take this away from this, that you gotta interact with other creators. You guys gotta help each other. You can help each other. And I'm not saying that you gotta be best friends with every creator you ever come across, but making good, solid relationships in these different departments can really help with that. Anyway, I guess I hope this helped, and live long and prosper, guys. IDIC.